Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be reviewing a couple products from Fenty Beauty. So I haven't tried any of these products before. I did a poll on my Instagram and you all said that you wanted a review, so here I am. I purchased the foundation, the Pro Filter foundation. This is actually not new. This came out, this is actually in one of her original launches, Fenty Rihanna's original launches, but I've actually never tried it. I've been wanting to, so I went ahead and picked it up so I could kind of try all these items together. And then I also got, and these two items are new, the Pro Filter Concealer and the Pro Filter Instant Retouch Setting Powder. So these two items did just launch. These are the newer items. So haven't even opened them yet, so gonna do that right now. Decided to do the intro, still barefaced, which terrifies me to do. I hate being on camera completely barefaced, but I didn't even want to have any opinion yet when I did this intro. It is not even noon yet, so I'm also gonna be doing a wear test, and I'll check in. I'll check in a couple times today. So obviously I do have some acne. My skin is acting up a little bit more than usual. I've been a little bit stressed. I am furloughed right now, so there's been a lot of stress with that situation. But I did get a concealer in a lighter shade than my skin tone. So just a note, if you're newer to makeup, when you're concealing under your eyes, you usually want a shade that's brighter than your skin, or lighter than your skin tone, and that's what's gonna give you that lifted, lighter look. But when you're concealing acne, you actually want the same shade as your skin tone so that you're not bringing attention to it. So I did not have the funds. I actually had a gift card for these items. So I didn't get a concealer to cover the acne, so I'm just gonna be looking at the foundation for that, and I'll use my normal concealer on top of that, my issue areas for that. So let's go ahead, and without further ado, let's dig right in. So obviously I'm gonna start with the foundation. This is the box that it comes in, really sleek looking box. I got shade 150. Which is one of the, it's towards the paler end, in case you can't tell, for my my pale self. Okay, wow, this is just as pretty in person. And this is what the bottle looks like. It's very sleek. It's glass, and the glass even feels nice. It has kind of a smooth touch to it. Okay, and I'm gonna prime with, let's see what the ingredients are, see if there's, okay, the first ingredient is water. So I would have loved to have primed with a pore filling primer, but since the first ingredient is water, I'm actually just gonna use Smashbox water primer. Okay, so I'm just gonna pump some of this. Ooh. Okay, so that's 2 squirts onto the back of my hand. Okay, it's a little liquidy. And I am going to use a wet beauty sponge. That's my preferred method. And let's just see what happens. Okay, I would say medium to full coverage based on how much I put on the sponge. And so far it feels really nice. And I'd say it's covering pretty well. So the first pump that I put, I'd call it kind of a half a pump because I was getting the product out. And I did end up putting another pump on my hand after the initial pump and a half. And I don't think I needed that much. I think that 2 normal size pumps would have been enough to cover my full face, maybe even a little less, depending on the amount of coverage you want. It seems like this is pretty buildable, which is nice, especially for, you know, your more the areas you're more concerned about. Okay, so foundation's on. I think that went on really nicely. It feels nice on the skin. I think my skin looks like skin. It doesn't look cakey. So far, so good. So the next step is to set it. And conveniently, we have a new setting powder. So she did come out with 8 shades of setting powders, which I love. I mean, Rihanna is just killing it with the inclusivity, which, I mean, it's about time that somebody set the bar for inclusivity with colors. I mean, I think a couple brands maybe had a few shades, but to come out with 8 shades of setting powder, I absolutely love. So I got the shade Butter, which looks like this on the lid. And then in the cartridge, when you open it, it does have this hexagon look to it, which is kind of, you know, the brand's MO. And then another cool thing, which I have a lot of setting powders, and I've never seen this before. It actually comes with this little doolally. It's a professional term. It's okay if you don't understand. And this doolally, if you're traveling, you can put it in the top. And you know, if you travel and this gets knocked around a lot, so much powder comes out in the top portion where you actually put product on your brush. So this will stop product from coming out into the top portion when it's traveling and getting jostled around. So I love that. That's really, really cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and set this face. I heard online that this smells good. I don't smell it yet. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a little bit of product, and I'm just gonna gently sweep gently sweep a little bit of product all over my face just to set the powder, or set the foundation, excuse me. Oh, it does smell good. I don't think the odor is very strong, but I think of all of my setting powders, this is definitely the most noticeable odor I have. You know, I have Laura Mercier, I have ColourPop, which is my favorite. Those are the 2 I go for most. I have Bare Minerals. I think this is definitely the most noticeable scent, but I wouldn't call it overpowering. But if you're allergic to scents, I might look into that. I always put a little extra powder on my nose because my pores are so big there. I really enjoy the scent of this. I think it's quite lovely. I'd say vanilla, like smoked vanilla, almost. Not smoked. Smoke's too strong of a word. Like vanilla is kind of, you know, you kind of think of a feminine smell, but it's like a slightly more, less, it's not too feminine is what I'm trying to say. It's like a comforting vanilla. I shouldn't review perfumes is what I think we're getting out of this right now. Okay, so I mean, we're not supposed to see a huge difference once you put the setting powder on, but I do always want to look at my nose because that's where I put kind of extra powder. And I think that my pores do look smaller there, so that's really good. And I mean, oh wow, actually my face feels noticeably softer. Okay, I'm liking this so far. But the biggest test for the setting powder will be once we use the concealer. So as I mentioned, for the foundation, I got shade 150. And then for the concealer, I got shade 130. There are shades in between, but they were a little too yellow for me. And I did see on another review that a little is supposed to go a long way. Let's see what this says. On the package for the concealer, it says instant photo soft coverage for all, long wear, light as air, crease proof. Okay. That's all it says. It says the same thing in a few other languages. Okay, so I'm just gonna apply it like I would normally apply concealer. It smells like makeup. having some trouble blending some out in my inner corner here. I'm not sure if I put too much on right there or what's going on. I don't think I had put too much on, but I did not pick up any of the brushes that she released for this launch or any of her launches. I thought that they seemed overpriced and unnecessary, but you can obviously decide that for yourself. Some of the brushes cost just as much as the products. And I'm a big Morphe brush fan. I think that their prices are really good, especially for the quality. So I just did not find that necessary. I don't know if you can tell, but like kind of my main crease under my eye, I'm just having trouble kind of, I feel like that crease isn't getting hidden. I feel like I have blended the concealer out now though. Okay, well, let's go ahead and put the powder in and see what happens. I'm gonna put the powder on the same blender, the sponge. What I've been into recently is I'm not necessarily baking. I'm just putting the powder on and just kind of blending it in or pushing it in, and then kind of immediately I'm just kind of putting on what I need. I'm not putting on excess and then wiping the rest away later. For everyday looks. I still bake when, you know, kind of have a big event or I'm, you know, kind of into looking more glam, but this is what I've been doing for the more everyday look, because if I'm putting concealer on, I'm definitely setting it. I mean, I think that that's a must. That one, I mean, I guess it's not a wrinkle, I guess it's a crease. It's kind of bothering me, but it's, yeah, the concealer's not setting in there. I guess I'm just getting hung up on nothing. No, I think it's fine. I'm thinking about yesterday I used my Shape Tape and I was trying to take mental notes to compare it. This is looking better than Shape Tape, honestly. This is lighter than Shape Tape. It blended out more nicely, and it's lighter is the main thing. It still felt, it's still sticky, but to me, sticky in a good way. It's like, to me, I want the concealer to be at least a little sticky. So let's go ahead and do the other eye. Okay, that was much easier when I put less product on the inner portion. So I think that I should have heated the a little bit goes a long way warning a little bit more. I think I could have used a little more over here. So I think that with this product, you kind of need to maybe find the sweet spot of how much to use. Okay, I think that eye looks really nice. Okay, so there's my eyes concealed. I think they look nice. They do feel more real life to me too than it does with Shape Tape. Yeah, I feel a lot lighter. We'll see how it holds up as the day goes on. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and put concealer on my nose and forehead. As I mentioned earlier, if you're having issues with acne that you want to cover up with concealer, you should not use the same concealer that you're using under your eyes, because the shade you're using under your eyes should be a lighter tone, and what you're using to cover up your acne should be the same color as your skin tone so as to not draw extra attention. And I personally don't like to use creams over my acne because I feel that it's kind of suffocating my skin even more. So I use powder concealer for my acne, and I personally use Bare Minerals concealer in the shade Bisque. So this has been what I've used for years, and I think that you know, if I feel like I really want to cover up my acne, then this is what I go for, because, alright, yeah, I'm putting makeup on it, but at least it's something that's a little more breathable. Notwithstanding the fact that I put liquid foundation on it. And then also because I didn't put any concealer to brighten my chin like you normally would when you're using concealer to contour, I also like to use a powder when I'm having issues with acne. So for the chin, I'm just gonna go ahead and use my Too Faced Cocoa Contour in the light shade, Light Cocoa, and just put that on my chin. It's not as effective as cream concealer from any brand, but sometimes you have to do what's best for your skin. So okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do kind of the rest of what I would do for, I'm not doing much today, but I just want to see how the foundation acts with the other pieces of a makeup routine, and I will be right back. Okay, so I finished off my makeup. I have contoured, bronzed, I put on a little bit of eyeshadow, I did eyeliner, I did mascara, I have highlight to the gods, and oh, I still need lips. I didn't throw on lips. And I have done some setting spray. I'm gonna give the foundation and concealer and setting powder a fair chance. I would put setting spray on anything. I did Urban Decay All Nighter. I put it a normal amount I would put on any makeup. So I did just put that on. So it is, what time is it? This is like, oh my God, the Great Mouse Hunt. It is noon right now. It is exactly noon. So I'm gonna do check-ins throughout the day, and then I will do, I guess, my closing thoughts tonight. I do have a game night tonight, so I'm probably gonna get back from that, I would imagine at 10 or later. So I'm gonna try to see if this will last probably 10 plus hours. So I'll let you guys know. Hey guys, I'm here for a checkup. It is just after 3 o'clock, and I just took this little guy on a little over a mile walk. The government may not be working in DC, but the wind certainly was. So I was all cozied up in my coat. My nose is still a little runny. I'm trying to not blow my nose so I don't take any of the makeup off. Everything looks pretty good, although it looks like I think my coat probably just like took a chunk of my makeup off. I might just have to touch that up. I was really trying to avoid doing any touch-ups so we could just see how the makeup held up. But I mean, I can't really fault it I really was like bundled up in my coat. So I think that's what that is. I mean, if you look like that's, I wouldn't blame any foundation for that really. That's probably just my fault. But otherwise, I think it's still doing pretty well. My under eyes, I think this is doing better than Shape Tape, honestly, at this point. Only 3 hours in, but so far, still so good. Okay, so it's been almost 6 hours. I'm about to go to a dinner at a friend's house. So I just wanted to do one more check-in in front of my beauty lights again. I blended out that little issue on my chin where I think I pulled off some foundation with my coat. I didn't put any more product on. I literally just blended it out with a sponge. And other than that, I just took a little bit more powder and put it over my nose. And then with the brush, I just also brushed it over the rest of my face. I don't know what's going on with my throat. So it's still looking pretty good. I think my under eyes are still looking better than they would have looked with Tarte Shape Tape by this point. So I think that this is still going pretty well. I'll do one last check-in at the end of the night after I get back from dinner at my friend's house with my final thoughts. Okay, it is the end of the day. It is 11 p.m. Got caught up at my friend's house a little longer than I expected, playing some very inappropriate games. Very fun. So this makeup has been on for 11 hours. I think that's about pretty much the max time I would expect makeup to last. Maybe up to 12 hours is how long I'd realistically expect it to last. And I gotta say, my face makeup, it lasted better than my eyeliner. Look, I have some serious transfer issues with the eyeliner, but I think everything stayed on pretty well. My under eyes look great. I mean, the only issues with my under eye is, I don't know how well you guys can see, but I have some mascara transfer. So, I mean, I just have a question there of whether, is that the mascara I used? Is it the mascara with the setting powder? Is that, So that's kind of a question mark. I don't know, is that the Fenty products with the mascara? Just so you guys know, I used the Superhero by It. Just happened to be what I picked up. So yeah, I have that going on, which is obviously not cute. So that's a downside. Don't know kind of whose fault that is. But otherwise, I'm usually much more shiny. But I will say, I mean, I went to a friend's house, we had tacos and we played games, so I wasn't really doing, you know, it's not summer, I wasn't exerting a lot of energy. And I did, like I said, during one of my check-ins, I put a little more powder on. But my skin looks good overall. So final thoughts, I'm gonna say I like it. I should have said towards the beginning, I do have combo skin. My nose gets fairly oily, along with kind of like close to my nose, and then my chin also gets a little oily. Usually I don't have this much acne, but obviously right now I do. But otherwise, my forehead and kind of the rest of my skin I would call normal. Not necessarily dry, but just kind of normal, if that gives you an idea or if that helps you out at all. So this was obviously a first impressions. This is the first time I used all three products, the foundation, the concealer, and the setting powder. So I'm looking forward to using them all. I want to use them all in different kind of scenarios too. I want to use the foundation with different concealer and setting powder, the setting powder with different concealers, you know, kind of in all different mixtures. But so far I would give it a thumbs up. Jesse. I think that's the difficult thing about first impressions videos is I just had this one day, but so far so good. I actually liked all three products a lot, so hopefully this was helpful to you. Thank you so much for watching. If this video was helpful to you and you liked it, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and give me any comments down below of any videos you'd like to see in the future, or just anything that's on your mind. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you like hearing me or my cat's opinions on the world. So thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys on the next one.